Wow, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well in turbulent and uncertain times. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, and of course, the big story we're reacting to in today's video is Chelsea Football Club has been frozen. Roman Abramovich has been sanctioned by the UK government. He wanted to sell Chelsea quickly, which was quite telling, and the money, the debt was, the debt still will be wiped to Chelsea, the £1.5 billion, because that was to Roman Abramovich. I don't know what this means in terms of, is he going to change his mind about that? I can't imagine he would, because he wasn't going to make any profit from the sale of Chelsea, I don't think, apart from perhaps some admin stuff. Where's the money going to go? Who's going to own Chelsea? Where's, if the club is eventually sold, which it can't be right now, we're going to get into all this in a moment and look at some details. What's going to happen? The club has been given special permission to continue and to play our game tonight against Norwich. Someone think of Thomas Tuchel, man. I said this before, he's come to Chelsea, and all he's wanted is to do his job and coach. He comes to Chelsea, he deals with the European Super League and the protests outside, Stamford Bridge, those historical protests. He deals with a record signing, Romelu Lukaku, doing that interview, and he has to, publicly deal with that. Then, the stuff with Roman Abramovich, the trustees, and the sale of the club, and now the sanctioning. Yes, you come into Chelsea Football Club, you've got to deal with a circus at the best of times, but man, poor Thomas Tuchel. Look, there's lots to get into today. Settle in, strap in. Please do drop a like on the video and consider subscribing. So, through all incredible football Chelsea related news, I'll be reacting first here on Football Therapy, and you can be part of that if you subscribe and hit the bell notifications icon. Let's go through this tweet. This is from Stephen Swinford, who Matt Law retweeted, seemingly a good source for this. Breaking news. Roman Abramovich has been sanctioned by the government, and his assets, including Chelsea Football Club, have been frozen. Chelsea have been given special license to continue with football-related activities, but the sale is effectively bars the sale of the club. Okay, the sanction effectively. This guy obviously wrote this out very quickly. The sanction effectively bars the sale of the club, and I'm guessing this is indefinite. Presumably, this sanction will be met with some form of pushback from Roman Abramovich. Whether it's some independent regulating body that can look at the UK government, and I was listening to some journalists say before that he would try and I suppose fight it in a way, and whether he will try and do that or not, I don't know. Whether he's even able to do that, I'm not qualified to answer that question. But wow, maybe he knew this was coming. There was speculation that excuse me. There was speculation that there was a threshold, a limit to the 15th of March that he needed to get a sale over the line before then. Of course, it is the 10th now. This is 5 days shy. Someone think of Todd Bowley and Hans-Jörg Wyss trying to buy the club. Wow, just yesterday we were talking about Nick Candy, who is the property developer that wanted to, the Chelsea fan and property developer that wanted to redevelop Stamford Bridge. Okay, so where are we at here? This is wild, man. Abramovich, one of 7 high-profile oligarchs who have been sanctioned by the government. The others include Oleg Deripaska, the owner of the EN Plus Group, and Igor Sechin, the chairman of Rosneft. Okay. Sanctioning Chelsea Football Club effectively places it in limbo. A special license from the Treasury means that, quote, football-related activities, end quote, such as tonight's game against Norwich, can go ahead. But Abramovich cannot sell the club. Interesting. Worrying as a Chelsea fan because it leaves you in a great deal of uncertainty. I don't think anything will happen to Chelsea. Like we've discussed here before on the channel, it would not be in the government's interest for Chelsea to stop functioning in terms of the amount of people they employ, and of course the UK, and indeed, less interesting for them, the global fan base. And of course, what it offers in the economy in London's capital. Of course, let's not forget, Chelsea are currently champions of Europe and the world, and they're representing the Premier League. So it's not in the interests of any governing body, really, for anything bad to happen to Chelsea. So there, but Abramovich must sell the club. The government would need to give special dispensation for the sale of Chelsea, and no money could go to Abramovich either directly or indirectly. He, Abramovich, would not get a penny from the sale of the club, likely to be a protracted process. So, what the hell happens here? We are in the wilderness, people. We're through the looking glass now. I wanted to react to that with you, but now we have to just speculate. So don't take any of what I say next as gospel or anything other than speculation, because I'm merely a Chelsea fan here that's been placed in the same position as you and having to react accordingly. What happens to the money if Chelsea gets sold? Does that end up in certain government fat cats' pockets, as opposed to perhaps, to help the victims of the war, which originally the sale proceeds were going to go to? Again, I speculate. I doubt Roman Abramovich would change his mind on the stance of the £1.5 billion being paid. You'd think it wouldn't be changed because he said he won't be asking for that back. He does love Chelsea. But some being sanctioned of like billions of pounds worth of assets and debt, maybe his stance would be somewhat upset or changed, because of course leveraging that debt back onto Chelsea, if it's owned by the government or something, would be a way of hurting the people who have sanctioned him. Maybe, potentially, speculating here. I have no idea. Although I think it's highly likely that that debt still is wiped away. That's what one would have to assume, but like I said, we are through the looking glass here, ladies and gentlemen. Anything can happen at this point. It's wild though. Again, my gut sort of says Chelsea will continue as normal. One thing we knew in a post-Abramovich era, in this new world without Papa Roman, is Chelsea were going to have to be more sustainable regardless. In fact, a lot of people were being kind of positive in the sense of, we'll have to integrate the academy a lot more. We'll have to stop, spending so much on wages. I wanted to do a video today on the wage structure at Chelsea. That got blown out the window when this news was released. And other things as well, not buying certain Galactico players, not changing managers all the time. And Chelsea at the moment look like they've got the perfect manager in Thomas Tuchel because of how good a coach he is, and not least by how he's managed himself and the club throughout all these aforementioned turbulent circumstances. He's been incredible. So, everyone's thinking the Roman era was one of great success for Chelsea Football Club. I think they're still the English club that's won the most over his tenure. And now, okay, let's start a new era. Let's start an era of sustainability, of course, being positive here. And of course, we were really putting new owners under the microscope. Perhaps new owners coming in quickly with this accelerated, perhaps desperate sale for Roman Abramovich, that caused issue and raised eyebrows and was cause for concern, because a quick sale can often bring in the wrong individuals. Maybe that danger is now eliminated temporarily, because someone will own Chelsea Football Club eventually, right? What happened? I'm laughing because I have no idea what's going on, and if you don't laugh, you'll cry. So, who is going to own Chelsea Football Club, and where are the proceeds going to go through? Is it going to be to a positive, charitable destination, or is that money going to end up somewhere in a more cynical place? I have no idea. Maybe you do, and you can let me know your thoughts, feelings on that. In terms of the more immediate sense, Thomas Tuchel's playing, managing, coaching a game of football tonight. he will face further questions about this yet again, and his resolve will be tested yet again, and how he can navigate and, you know, these turbulent questions, essentially. I mean, I trust him, and fortunately, Chelsea aren't in a cup final against, you know, Man City or Bayern Munich tonight. We've got a game against Norwich, which you'd have to back Chelsea to win. Wow, absolutely incredible scenes, man. I mean, this is all we're working off at the moment. I'm sure there'll be plenty of articles coming out throughout the day. There's a chance I will do another video later, so you please do keep it locked. It's wild. I appreciate all interactions, like likes, subs, and of course comments, and, you know, if you want to do God's work, shares as well. Alright, keep it locked. Oh, you don't need to see that again. Wild, keep it locked. See you soon. Peace.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy talk. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo, chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't